The film opens with a scene showing a bridge in India that is in chaos. Then we are introduced to the main character named Tyler Rake. Here, Tyler is already full of wounds and tries to break through by fighting against the Indian army forces that are chasing him. After successfully fighting some soldiers, suddenly Tyler is shot by a sniper that makes him fall. Then the scene continues 2 days earlier in Mumbai, India. Then we are introduced to a teenager named Ovi Mahajan Jr. Ovi is the son of the biggest drug lord in India, who is currently in prison, Ovi Mahajan Sr. Upon arriving home, Ovi is scolded by Saju, who asks why he is late coming home. Saju is his father's right-hand man, who is assigned to guard Ovi when his father is in prison. That night, Ovi sneaks out of his house to go with his friends to a nightclub. One of his friends persuades Ovi to approach the most beautiful girl in his school. Because Ovi is shy, he refuses. Then his friend Ovi invites Ovi to the back of the club to just relax and smoke. But suddenly men in police uniforms come. Then they shoot his friend and kidnap Ovi. It turns out that the police work for Amir Asif, the biggest drug lord in Bangladesh, who is a rival of his father. The scene switches to the central prison in Mumbai, where Saju goes to report to Ovi Mahajan Sr., who is in prison, to tell the news that Ovi Jr. was kidnapped by his rival, Amir Asif. Ovi Sr. asks Saju to return his son. Here, Ovi's father assigns Saju to go to Dhaka, where Amir Asif kidnapped Ovi Jr., with the threat that if Saju fails, Saju's son will not live to see the following year. Then Saju goes home and tells Nesa, his wife, that he is very dizzy because Saju lacks money to hire troops to help him, because the police have frozen Ovi's father's assets, and he is the only one who can be relied on. Saju tells Nesa that he knows someone who can help him, but the price is very expensive, and Saju plans to cheat this person. The scene continues in Kimberley, Australia. The rescuer that Saju meant is Tyler Rake. Tyler is drinking beer with his friends on the side of the cliff. Then Tyler jumps from a height of 30 meters down to the water that makes his friends shocked. Arriving home, Tyler meets Nick Khan, who is waiting for him. Nick tells Tyler about the big project offered by Saju. A son of a drug lord in India was kidnapped by his rival in Dhaka. Tyler says that there is Gaspar, one of his friends, who can help. Then Nick tells that Gaspar has retired. Nick also tells that Amir Asif, the person who kidnapped Ovi Jr., is a very feared and influential person in Dhaka. If Tyler accepts this project, Tyler will likely be tortured by him. Without hesitation, Tyler agrees to take it. The scene continues to Saju, who is saying goodbye to his wife. Elsewhere, Tyler and his team gather to set up a rescue scenario and prepare to save Ovi Jr. with their plan. They will board a ship as far as 14 kilometers and go by helicopter to escape. They continued directly to their mission location in a Dhaka market to meet the hostages. Here, Tyler's plan was to deliberately surrender to Amir Asif's forces so he could meet Ovi Jr. first. Then, shortly, a car came carrying Tyler and they covered his head. When they opened Tyler's head cover, they immediately asked for ransom money. Tyler refused and asked the troops to show Ovi Jr. first to prove that Ovi Jr. was okay. One of them pointed a gun at Tyler's head and pulled the trigger. But Tyler didn't blink at all because he knew there were no bullets in the gun. After that, they showed Ovi Jr., who was tied up in another room. With the help of his team, a guard was shot by a sniper, and Tyler then fought and tried to untie his hands. Not long after, Tyler went back upstairs and knocked on the door. But when their forces wanted to open the door, suddenly Tyler fired a gun at the mafia forces inside. Tyler freed Ovi Jr. They ran away from the building. The scene continues with Amir Asif ordering one of his men to throw children from the building until one of them admits that they stole his money. A teenager named Farhad said it was the child he had just thrown from the building. Amir Asif praised his intelligence and told him to cut off 2 of his fingers because the thief was already dead and he needed a warning to everyone not to steal from him. Before Farhad cut his fingers, Amir Asif was informed by a colonel that Ovi Jr. had escaped. Amir Asif ordered the colonel to close all access to the city. The scene continues to Tyler, who is recording a video to show that he managed to save Ovi Jr. Then Tyler started taking Ovi Jr. to the point where some of the team members were waiting and met them. But at the team's headquarters, They did not receive the funds that should have been transferred after receiving the video. Tyler's other members waited at the rescue point, but they were ambushed and killed by the Bangladeshi police who took to the streets. This made Tyler and Ovi Jr. run away from the place. One of the armed forces chasing them turned out to be Saju. He called Ovi Jr. to go with him. Ovi Jr. wanted to go, but Tyler fired a grenade and took Ovi Jr. with him. Ovi Jr. asserted that Saju worked for his father, but Tyler thought everything was suspicious. Then Tyler left using a car, but he was chased by the police who sided with Amir Asif. After escaping from the police, Tyler was trapped in an alley that made him get out of the car and run into the houses of the residents. The police chased him. Then Tyler had to fight and kill many police who chased him while keeping Ovi Jr. In short, they managed to escape from the police chase, but a few moments later Tyler faced Saju here. They engaged in a brutal physical fight with Saju that made them fall and go down the street. After fighting for quite a long time, Tyler hit Saju with a truck and took Ovi Jr. with him to get away from the other police chase. Tyler tried to lose track by jumping out and crashing the truck he was using. Then they got out before the truck exploded. Then Tyler, who was very badly injured, left the place. At night, Colonel Rashid came to the scene to make sure Ovi Jr. and Tyler were dead, but the colonel did not find their bodies. Amir Asif, who was very disgusted, decided to hunt down Tyler. Meanwhile, Tyler and Ovi Jr. found a safe place to hide. Tyler told Ovi Jr. to help bandage his wounds. Then, Nick called Tyler and told him that Saju was a former Special Forces. She told Tyler that they were played. They wanted to save the kid, but they didn't intend to pay. Nick also gave information on where the point would allow him to get out of the city. She told him that he had to leave Ovi Jr. if he wanted to get out of Dhaka safely, but Tyler didn't want to leave him and told Nick to cash in his money. Ovi Jr. heard that and said that Tyler was like his father, who considered him more as an object than a human. Meanwhile, Saju, who was badly injured, also treated his wounds. He fixed his crooked nose to return it to normal. He also called Nasa and said if she didn't hear from him in 12 hours, then she should take the money and go away. Saju told Nasa to give the phone to his son so he could talk to him for the last time. The scene continues to Dhaka, where Tyler and Ovi Jr. start heading to the rescue point. They were attacked by Farhad and some other gangs of little kids. They are now fully armed by Amir Asif. They resisted, but Tyler was able to defeat them and jump into the sewer to keep running away. Nick began to be disappointed because Tyler hadn't left Ovi Jr. and Tyler told Nick to call Gaspar. Nick said it wasn't a good idea, but Tyler insisted that Gaspar owed him his life. Not long after, Gaspar came to pick him up and took Tyler and Ovi Jr. to hide for a while at his house. Gaspar and Tyler drank casually, and Gaspar told him that getting out of the city would be very difficult. On the other hand, Farhad lost one of his fingers because of his inability to get Tyler, and he begged Amir Asif to let him shoot Tyler again. Farhad told Amir that Tyler made him look like a fool. Back at Gaspar's house, Ovi Jr. apologized to Tyler and said it was his fault that made Tyler almost die. Tyler told Ovi Jr. that it was only his own fault. Ovi Jr. called him brave and asked Tyler if he had a family. Tyler told him that he had a wife he hadn't seen in a long time and a son who had died a few years ago from lymphoma. Tyler was in Afghanistan when his son died. He went voluntarily because he couldn't stand to see his son die. Tyler told Ovi Jr. that he wasn't brave at all. Then, Gaspar told Tyler that Ovi Jr. might not get out of Bangladesh alive. He told him that the best thing for Ovi Jr. might be to kill him now, rather than let Amir Asif follow him. He told Tyler that the reward was $10 million and urged Tyler to hand Ovi Jr. over to him. Tyler refused and pushed Gaspar, who revealed that he had made a deal with Amir Asif. With $10 million, they both could live if they handed Ovi Jr. over to Amir. Gaspar told Tyler that he didn't have to kill Ovi Jr., and Gaspar promised to save Tyler if he handed the kid over. The two had a brutal physical fight, and before Gaspar could hit Tyler's head with a stick, suddenly Ovi Jr. came holding a gun. When Gaspar approached, Ovi Jr. shot him twice, killing Gaspar. Tyler, who ran out of ideas, called Saju to arrange a meeting and told Saju to ask for help to get Ovi Jr. out safely. Saju told Tyler that Ovi Sr. had threatened his family if he couldn't return. Ovi Jr. Tyler told him that he would hold off the enemy by giving Saju a chance to save Ovi Jr. Tyler blew up the vehicle and then fired shots, giving Saju and Ovi Jr. a chance to get out of the city with a car. But when they got stuck in traffic, they had to continue on foot. At that time, they were stopped by the police. Then Saju got involved in a shootout with them. On the other hand, Tyler was involved in his own fight with the enemy forces. Meanwhile, Nick arrived with her team to help Tyler and shot the enemy helicopter with a rocket launcher she brought. Saju tried to clear the way for Ovi Jr. to cross the bridge, but it was very difficult because there were so many enemies coming. So Tyler rushed to help shoot the enemy forces from behind. Not long after, Saju was shot by a sniper who hit his head, killing Saju on the spot. And Tyler was also shot by a sniper. He was seriously injured, which brought us back to the beginning of the film. He imagined his son who had died until Ovi Jr. came and held his hand while crying. Tyler told Ovi Jr. to run to the helicopter. Finally, Ovi Jr. managed to run to the helicopter, while Nick managed to kill the sniper. When Tyler got up to finish off the remaining enemies, suddenly he was shot again from behind, piercing his neck. It turned out that the one who shot Tyler was Farhad, the boy who was very angry with Tyler at that time. Tyler crawled helplessly and tried to stand on the side of the bridge. When he reached the side of the bridge, Tyler dropped himself from the bridge into the water. 8 months later, Ovi Jr. returned to school, while Amir Asif remained in power in Bangladesh. At that time, Amir Asif entered the bathroom. Suddenly, Nick came in and shot his head, killing Amir Asif on the spot. Back to Ovi Jr., who was swimming and wanted to jump into the pool. Ovi Jr. tried to drown himself like Tyler did before. But when Ovi Jr. came out of the water, a man similar to Tyler was seen watching Ovi Jr. from outside the pool. And the film ends.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Because by subscribing, you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.